for today, instead of a stream, I decided to just do this video, talk a little bit. I believe it's easier for most people when they just have the channel with a few videos they can watch instead of a bunch of live streams. And I believe it allows me to go into a topic a little bit more with details instead of being distracted by the live chat. But anyways, feel free to let me know what you think about just videos like this. Yesterday evening I recorded a relatively long one, about 33 minutes, when I was hiking up a mountain. I mean, it wasn't an intense hike, you could probably say a walk. Took, I would say, just about half an hour. And recorded the video about how you can go up and down with your body weight to just possibly provide some guidance or support for some people. I haven't yet published that video because it didn't actually look so good when I checked it. Anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the day. I really still have to figure out if this is of any value for the subscribers. Right now I'm somehow in a situation which feels a bit challenging and uncertain. I don't know exactly into which direction I'm going. I've been on a plan for a long time, for many years, focused on goals and a certain system. And for me to change the path from just getting up every day and being focused on a very specific goal to then changing took me quite a while actually, and now I would say I'm relatively fine with not knowing exactly what I'm gonna do, but still it feels tough sometimes. And in some kind of way it's mostly about the business, the work, the finances, which has quite a huge influence on how I feel, an influence on my private life, and it has been quite an issue with actually getting to know someone, because I felt so loaded with my business and overwhelmed that very often it wasn't even really possible to focus a lot of energy on a person that I got to know. And then at some point recently, in some kind of way, I decided to just stop trying although that sounds bad, I basically decided to not use too much energy trying to build a social life, or actually building a strong relationship with someone, because I realized that as long as the situation is like it is right now with the work, I think it just it doesn't actually really work. And yeah, that's about how it is right now. I didn't say it really specifically. Hopefully it has been detailed enough. Now when it comes to the channel, I plan to feed my mind with some books again, interviews, get some more opinions. I did that for a long time on a daily basis, listened to audiobooks, read books, regular ones, and yeah, I really watched many interviews. Sometimes helps you a lot when you listen to another person talking about life, and probably you see some similarities, possibly you gain some insights, some strategies on how you can deal with a situation. Possibly someone else has been in a very similar situation, and they found a way to change. So that has been actually a huge help very often. At some point I reduced the amount of time I spent studying. You could possibly call it self-development. And I'm now going back into it a bit more intensely. Somehow you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a certain routine, because you possibly always find an excuse on just not reading a book, not studying, not working on your mindset, because you're probably tired, or there's no time. I mean, how can you say there's no time? It's just something you in some kind of way decide. I guess everybody has time to breathe, time to drink some water, if you have enough water. So yeah, if you really want something, you can create some time, I would say, if it's about life or death. So, and when it comes to studying, for me personally, just listening to a book or an interview when I'm driving, or when I change clothes or cook something, then there is usually that's usually a period of time when I do actually have some opportunity to educate myself, instead of just going through that autopilot. I mean, so often in our days, at least in my days, there has been this autopilot, this consciousness, thoughts going through your mind. Sometimes it's crazy how it shifts from positive to negative. And instead of going through that process of just circling around and around in your mind through past events and things you could have done, should have done, and thinking about how exhausted you are and tired, and repeating certain patterns in your mind, instead of doing that, just focusing on a book or listening to a motivational speech, working on a plan. Recently, and I believe that's one of the main things that caused me to feel so low really often. Just about every single day I had quite a massive low emotionally. Then then I could just fix it by taking a cold shower, going for a hike, going to the gym, making myself busy, doing a live stream, doing a YouTube video, doing some work. But really often, just about daily, there have been some downs emotionally. Very often on the weekends, because in some kind of way I felt or allowed myself to feel more relaxed, and that didn't even really work. So what it actually caused was more like me realizing or feeling an emptiness on the weekends. On those weekends when I really just thought about taking some time off. So and the reason for those lows recently, I think, also has been partly due to me not really working on a specific plan, not really having a clear strategy and path. And of course you could argue that you don't need to have that. And yes, you don't need to see a path all the time. If you just focus on the present moment and you push and you do something and you're active, or even if you're not active but just control your thoughts, then you can actually be quite fine. And I would say for me, so far, there have been usually a bit of just about two different paths. One would be just feeling really calm inside, relaxed, reducing my ego, not letting myself be influenced by external events. And on the other side, there has been that ego which so often pushed me, made me feel great in times when things just worked well, and made me feel really low when plans didn't go the way I wanted them to go. I somehow find it, or have found it, hard. I just actually prefer to speak in the past, because when you tell yourself that, when you say, okay, I think it's hard, instead of saying it has been hard or it was hard, you in some kind of way reduce yourself, when in fact in every second of your life, or let's just say right now, in the present moment, you have the ability to change, to be a new person, to have another habit, to say no or yes to something you said the opposite in the past. So even if you failed and didn't stick to a plan, you can change it right now. That's why I sometimes just, or actually always, prefer to talk or to say something, to just say like something like, yeah, it has been tough, or it felt challenging, or I felt low, instead of using the present moment or the present tense. Yeah, how can I say that in English? Still, it doesn't feel too easy to speak English, and it's getting dark. Unfortunately, I don't have a, or actually I do have a possibility to illuminate myself a little bit more, so could use a flashlight. That's what I'm going to do now to make this video a bit more exciting. Some kind of, what is this? I don't know, some insect. Anyways, I left the topic a little bit. So I believe the reason for just sometimes feeling a bit lost recently has just been that I got off a certain plan, because for a long time it was just, the path was so clear and the goal was set. I mean, for a long time the path was just about, it was just all about the work, the business, my business. That was my path. That was the only path. I didn't have any other plan. At some point I felt quite a massive emptiness socially, so I started dating, and I thought that by filling a certain hole, or by filling that emptiness, I could make it a bit easier for me to focus on the business. But yeah, actually didn't really work, because some kind of way the pressure with the work, or with the finances, to make profit and to get forward, that stayed actually, and it got higher even, because I reduced the amount of time I spent on my business, focused a lot more on meeting people. Then actually the process of meeting someone felt way harder, because I wasn't relaxed. At some point I just focused on pulling back from being focused on one goal only, and making myself so dependent on reaching a goal. Although partly it feels like I would be going back to the same system. It's really special. It's probably just like our autopilot. Like I said, yeah, our mind, it goes from one point to the other. Now many people they talk quite negatively about people who let's say for them it's just super negative if someone is trying to find a path in life, and they feel like it's just an accomplishment to find your way quite early, and then you stay on it, and it's great. And of course it is. It's wonderful if you just grew up and you just had your circle and you felt integrated and that everything was good and you had a job that you loved and you've been doing the same job for a long, long time and you're happy and you have your friends, the same ones that you've been having for I don't know how long, then of course that's wonderful. But how would you actually feel if life just didn't go the way you planned and you possibly had to deal with some disappointments? I guess many people don't even know how that feels. All they know is just their routine and stability and all that love that is just there without them actually feeling a need to be worthy of it or to improve. I don't know how that feels when you just go through life and everything more or less works the way you want. And probably it's an illusion. Probably that's just how it looks like from the outside, when in fact many people don't feel so secure and they're probably not so open. Possibly I'm a little bit more open when it comes to talking about emotional things. Guess there are many people who seem very secure from the outside and they can play it really, really well. And I can too, of course. I could just talk on the surface all the time and you wouldn't probably have a clue on how I feel deep inside. And I guess that's what many people do, especially on social media. Now, I'm probably not the best example when it comes to talking really specifically. I mean, so far on this channel, I didn't tell you so much about myself, and I don't even think it's needed, because that's the past. The past doesn't have so much meaning. It has meaning if you use it to learn from it. And the past is great if you have some wonderful pictures to look back to, if you talk with someone about something you did together, which was just really nice, then of course it's great to look back. But I don't think it's necessary to look back all the time, especially when there have been things that, or periods of time, just time periods when you actually didn't feel like, or didn't feel it. I didn't live so happily. If you don't need to look back, it's way better to just really be present, possibly meditating, doing some sport, and possibly just having a plan. And that's another point for me right now. I believe just having a clear plan again would give me a little bit of a relief, and lowers it would I think it would lower the uncertainty right now. Sometimes it feels painful and exhausting to set the goal, to start something. But as soon as you did, and as soon as you're on track, or as soon as you are pushing, you feel great. It's the same like going to the gym. When you took a long break from it and you don't like the way you look, you're not in shape, for example, As soon as you start, and you've been doing it for a few days, you feel way better already. And if you're really on it, on a plan, and you're just gonna go through, and you believe in yourself, and you believe that you're gonna stick to it, you feel way better. And you're gonna automatically look forward to improving. So sometimes just, even though it's exhausting, starting something new and sticking to it, and trying to actually also enjoy the present moment instead of just always living for the future, yeah, can feel really good. I'm trying to not be too focused on a future event. I've done that for so often, for so long. Always living for your future self, to once having this and that, having all the success and love that you want. And that caused me to just not be happy right now, because it just never felt, I never felt like being there. And possibly, even if you then at some point reach that moment, you reach that goal, that success, and you reach that social or that love that you wished for, possibly you're gonna realize that even that has been an illusion. So that was a lot of talking, and as you can probably guess, I possibly think a little bit too much sometimes. So yeah, I hope that this has been of just any value for someone. Let me know what you think about videos like this. Sometimes it just feels good for me to go for a walk and think a little bit, process some thoughts. And now actually I didn't even tell you what I plan to publish on the channel. Currently I plan to focus more on books. Then I would say I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I read, listened to. There's an audiobook that I just started recently, actually yesterday, and listened to, I think it was just 1 hour, or a bit over 1 hour that I listened to. And I think I'm gonna continue after this video. And I would say I'm gonna tell you about the book. But if it could be of some help for someone else too. Now there's not so much lighting right now. Probably I can improve it a little bit here under the tree by just having the light reflected back to me. Now let me know what you think about this video. I hope someone has been, or someone is still watching, listening. I hope I'm not talking just only for myself. And yeah, if you like it, feel free to let me know and press the like button. And of course, if you're new on the channel, feel free to follow, would be amazing. I'm really new here, started on the 1st of March basically with recording and uploading videos to this channel. I did the first video in 2018 and that somehow, it went nowhere. It got 7 views. I don't know if it counted my own views as well. I deactivated that video and really started on the 1st of March this year. So just about 6 weeks ago I started, and the channel was on 0 subscribers at that point. So really just everything is quite new right now. Now let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video. Bye bye.